Welcome to the Soul Infused Monday show. I'm super excited that you're here. And if you are on the replay, click the like or love button and leave a comment below so that I know that you're actually here on the replay. And if you're live here already, do the same thing. Click the like and the love button and leave me a message below so that I know you're here. And my apologies, last Monday, even though I did want to go live, and I usually make it happen, it didn't happen. I was in the air, like I had delays, no connectivity. I tried everything. I could just not make it happen. So today I'm here live with you, super excited to nearly finish the year off. And I got back from the Dream Big event, gonna share some of my takeaways and some other great announcements about enjoying the holidays and how to deal with stress. So who's here today? Emily's here, Alyssa is here. Hi, Chicago, I'm sure it's freezing there. I'm losing a little bit my voice, so if I have to do this and cough a little, so just bear with me. Hi, Debbie's here, fantastic. And if you're already live here and you have a friend who could benefit from it, just invite them to join us. Join the watch party. Okay. Hi, Enrico. Tina is here. Okay, people are jumping in slowly. Leave a comment below so I know you're here. And I'm going to share some of my takeaways, my personal takeaways, general takeaways about the Dream Big event. But it's not whether you know the Dream Big event or not, does not matter at all. These takeaways or insights are really valuable for any area of your life. And I would be curious though, you that you're watching right now, right here, live or on the replay. If you were at the Dream Big event with me, write down Dream Big. It's bitter cold in Chicago, yeah, for sure. Tina is here from Denmark. Hello, hi. Lovely to be here, Enrique or Enrico? Lovely to be here with you. Yes, lovely to be here with you too. Okay, so first off, one of the takeaways, but that has more to do with traveling and the inner work in general, not even only related to this event. Inner work works, okay? Inner work creates freedom. Inner work helps you to stay relaxed and calm in stressful situations, to trust, and to not get as triggered as much. Why I'm sharing this with you. So I've been traveling a lot this year, more than ever before. And even though in the last few years I was traveling more, that has been something that was stressful for me in the past. And I often didn't do it, even though, you know, we might have excuses like, oh, the timing or the money or whatever. There was something in me that was really getting stressed out while traveling. And even though that changed over the years, I just noticed it again this year big time. Because this particular trip, when I went to Dream Big, if you want to call it that way, I wouldn't call it that way, but that's how we usually say, like, a lot of things went wrong, right? I had extreme delay to even leave from here, missing my connecting flight, not knowing if I would arrive on time, not getting my luggage. Like, there were so many things, and in the past that would have totally freaked me out. Who can relate to that, by the way? I would be curious to hear. And who is it? Karen, hi, is here. Lynn, hi Lynn, good morning. Looking forward to talking to you later. Melissa, Dream Big, yes, fantastic. So I'm sharing this with you because it's not really what happens to us on the outside. It's not the circumstances, not the things that happen to us. It's really how we are being and how we deal with what's happening. And ultimately, because here's the thing, we cannot really control it. We try to control the environment when we don't feel safe, when we feel anxious, when we get stressed out. So that's why traveling brings up a lot, especially if you know you're gonna miss your connecting flight, or you're anxious to flight, or you don't get your luggage. It triggers a lot of anxiety deep inside, and often it triggers our inner child that doesn't feel safe. So, and this particular trip hasn't happened for me in a long time, that I missed completely my flight and I didn't get my luggage. Happened in the past. I knew I was leaving this airport here And I knew that my flight to New York would be so delayed that I wouldn't get my connecting flight. So I went to the counter to check what I was able to do, what was possible. So on the counter, they said to me, the only other flight that is later is fully booked. We cannot put you on that flight, not even on standby. And they suggested to me to book for the following day, the first flight on the following day, if I want to do that. And then I tuned in and I wasn't so sure what to do for a split second. It's like, okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to wait. I am going to go to New York first and just let the universe take care of it. And worst case scenario, I still can get on the next flight the next morning. Okay. So I let it completely go because there's nothing that I could do. We had so much delay that the later flight that was already booked anyway it was just too late for it. So I'm in New York, get to the counter and say, hey, I missed my flight. So I just want to see what's the next step. And so she taps on your computer how they are, right, doing the thing. And then she gives me a boarding pass and says, okay, go to security and go to gate number such and such to catch the flight. And it was already later than, and I was like, huh, okay. I didn't even ask anything. I just ran to security and I looked at my time and I was like, I'm never gonna make this. This makes no sense. I asked what happened. I said, oh, that flight has delayed as well. So I make it to the gate, and that flight that was supposedly completely full, not a space on standby even, had delay, and there was one spot for me. Like I arrived like at 3 o'clock in the morning, but why I'm sharing this with you is it often works out when we surrender and trust. Not all the time, but even if it wouldn't have worked out, it's how are you being and realizing that there's nothing you can really control. The only thing you can control is how you react to the situation. Does that make sense? Is this landing? Can you relate? Give me some feedback here. Good morning. So the other thing is also, once I was at the event, right, some of the things that were really valuable and meaningful, and I think it's valuable and meaningful for everyone. The Dream Big event was an event for heart-centered entrepreneurs, coaches, healers, anyone that has a message that wants to make a difference in the world, right? And whether you are an entrepreneur, a coach, a healer, or you're not, most likely, because you're watching me, you've been in my vortex, most likely you have a calling to make a difference. You have something that you want to contribute in the world. Am I right? Do you have that? And what I see every time I go to events like that is the power of community. The power of community. It's so often, and I hear this from so many people, and I was one of them back in the days, that we often sit behind our computer or our business and we feel like we are alone, things don't work for us, we know what to do, we have the tools, but never underestimate the power of being in a room full of like-minded people, people who have a similar goal, who are there for their own journey, and how much that can uplift and the connections you can make. It's priceless. And any of you that were there, just share in the comments so that others can read them. If you agree with me, did you feel the expansion and the energy and just to be seen, to feel connected, to feel supported? That when you leave the event, you take something with you that you didn't have before. Would you agree with me? Let me know. Yes, can relate. Yes. Okay, good. So one other thing I wanted to say, a personal takeaway that might not relate to you, might relate to you, but I'm just sharing my personal experience as well. So I spoke at the Dream Big, shared my story, shared the 4-step process that I work with people to really connect deeply and love yourself and connect to who you are being as a true soul, as who you are authentically being. And I've spoke on stages before, but especially this time, I felt like I belong on stages. So I'm just saying it out there. So I am really setting the intention to do that way more often, because the impact I can make standing in front of people live in person it's a different one. So that's just a personal takeaway. I knew that. I've been always knowing it. I always wanted to pursue it, and I've done it in the past. But I feel like for 220, that's something that I really want to set my intention. So if you know of any great events that you believe my message and what I'm teaching would be valuable, send me a message. I would love to hear about any event that you believe that I could make a difference for. And I'm going to put that on my list. Okay, good. Excuse me. Before I forget, has nothing to do with Dream Big, but it has to do with the time of the year. Christmas is next weekend, not next weekend, next week. Can you believe it? Unbelievable. I know that this is a stressful time for a lot of people. It brings up emotions, it's very intense, people are busy, family stuff comes up. For a lot of people, it brings also up anxiety or loneliness, grief from maybe loved ones that are not here anymore. There's so many components. And because I know how challenging that can be, I've decided to bring back the Soul Infused holiday series that I did last year and to re-air it again from tomorrow on. So this week, Tuesday through Saturday, every day at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to release 2 of those episodes to help you to go through the holidays, not only way more smooth and relaxed and calm, but to enjoy the holidays maybe in the best way ever. And it doesn't even matter if you celebrate Christmas or not, if you're religious or not, it has nothing to do with it. It's often a stressful time for many. And the tools that I'm sharing in that Soul Infused holiday season series are tools that you can implement anywhere in your life. So check that out every day from tomorrow on, Tuesday to Saturday, my little Christmas gift for you so that you can go through the holidays in the most amazing way. Totally, absolutely. I have the calling. I'm in more fear than ever about it. I suppose how it goes. I'm still afraid to change. Yeah, that's okay, Alyssa. You know, it comes in waves, and sometimes it's stronger, and sometimes it's very clear. The one thing I sometimes say is when we are so caught up in our own fears and our own journey that I've been, you know, it's a story that we keep telling us. Focus on someone else. Focus on helping someone else or helping a cause. Animals, children, other people. It's when I've been there for many years, so I understand there's no judgment from my side. However, when we are very caught up in our own stuff, one of the things that's so valuable is to put yourself aside for a moment. Let that be okay with honoring how you feel, accepting how you feel, and then you focus on something outside of yourself in contribution and service. Because I know you have a lot to give, and maybe that resonates with someone else as well. So focus on the piece that you can give and contribute versus only being in your own. I hope this helps, Alyssa. Yes, I am in. Okay, great. Okay, do you have any questions for me? Is there anything in your life right now that you would like to get coaching, supports? Maybe it's related about the holidays. How are you, are you actually stressed out about the holidays or not? I'm going to be here for a couple of minutes longer and share a few more things. And while I do that, leave me a comment below if you have a question, because this is a time where you can actually use this personal feedback from me. Okay. Yes, soup kitchen, like that. Okay, Liliana, hello. So one other thing, the last thing I want to share that I think, it's not only that it was an insight or takeaway from the Dream Big, but I just saw it again so much. Regardless if you are an entrepreneur, coach, or healer, or you are working with people, in any way or form, the importance of standing for those that you believe in. Okay, let me repeat that. It's so important to take a stand for what you believe and for what you have to give. Okay? Taking a stand means, like, I invited certain people to join me to the Dream Big event, for example. And for some of them, it was super challenging to even make it there. They came from far away. Some of them had real financial struggles. Some of them had to overcome emotional anxiety, overwhelm. And it would have been so much easier for me to say, I understand, maybe it works out next year, right? However, when I felt like this is for them, this will make a huge difference for them, I decided to stand for them and help them to make it happen. Because it's not so much about them only showing up. It's about making a decision from a point of vision and overcoming the obstacle, overcoming the challenge. And that process alone, who you are becoming in the process of overcoming your obstacles, is what's so valuable. Does it make sense what I'm saying? And that relates to any area of your life. Anything that you've always wanted to do, or anything that you feel that you're called to. Maybe you're called to go to a certain event. Maybe you're called to work personally with a certain person. Maybe you're called to travel something. It doesn't matter what you're called to, but you feel like this is what you want to do. It's in alignment with you. It's in alignment with your vision, and something is holding you back. And how important it is that someone else, until you hold it for yourself and someone else, is holding the vision for you, and that you make a decision out of your vision, and not out of scarcity. Okay, let me check here some of your comments, and then I'm gonna jump off in just a few minutes. So check in tomorrow for the Soul Infused Holiday Series season. And then next Monday is the last day I'm gonna be live on the Soul Infused Monday show for this year. So you wanna join, because I'm gonna share some energy hacks with you to supercharge your holidays. Questions. So Melissa is sharing, I can relate. I felt the connection, so true self. Okay, she was at Dream Big. I reconnected at Dream Big with that part of myself, and have been playing guitar every day since. Wrote a list of songs, of 160 songs, and I felt so validated and fulfilled. So unexpected to reconnect with that part of me. Yes, that's such a great testimony, Melissa. Thank you for sharing. That wouldn't have happened if you wouldn't have overcome everything to join the Soul Infused Monday show. Yeah, the Soul Infused Monday show as well, the Dream Big event. Miss you, Pamela, thank you. Any questions? I don't see my blood family for the holidays anymore, as I'm so different from them and we don't understand each other. Yeah, that's fine. That's totally cool. Okay, I see no questions. Just for you to know, in general, if I invite you to ask me something, I would always take the opportunity. This is coaching that you get, that is, you never know what's gonna, when breakthrough or insight's gonna happen. Use those opportunities. I don't always have the opportunity to coach you personally, but when I invite you to ask a specific question to help you in one area of your life, just use the opportunity. Don't hide. Don't try to find the perfect words. Just go for it. 2020 is the year to go for it. 2020 is the year for movement, flow, energy. It's going for it. I invite you to fully go for it in 2020. No matter what that means to you. Go for it. Okay? Well, thank you for being here. Take a moment and tune in. What was the most valuable thing you heard on this show today for you? Tune in right now. Take a breath. Take a breath. Even you might want to even close your eyes. Bring your energy back in. Connect to yourself. Tune in. What was the most valuable thing you heard me say today that is making a difference for you? And leave a comment below and share it with me. And I say this often. You don't only share that for me. When you tune in to what's really valuable, what's landing for you, what's making a difference for you, and you share it, first you anchor it. You anchor it for yourself. It's great, valuable feedback for me, so I can support you better. And for someone else who's reading it, it might spark an insight as well. So be generous, leave a comment below, and share your biggest takeaway from this call today. And I would love to see you again on Monday. So thank you very much for showing up here. Thank you so much for being here with me, for staying with me, for being part of my community. I love you. I appreciate you. And I want to share some of the questions. Emily's saying, inner work works. Is that simple? It's that simple. Yeah, inner work works. Just got to keep doing it. Inner work works. Love it, Emily. And Liliana is saying, stand in for someone. Great takeaway. Thank you for sharing. Melissa has a question now. How to overcome sadness over holidays? Loneliness coming up, feeling without. Great question, Melissa. Here's the solution and the answer for you. I'm going to release the Soul Infused holidays from tomorrow on. In those videos that I'm going to send, you're going to have all the answers to that question. I'm not going to go into it right now because I'm talking specifically about that, and it would take too much of today's time. Great question, Melissa. Thank you. So check your emails Tuesday through Saturday. I'm going to release 2 videos of the Soul Infused holiday series, and at least 1 or 2 or even more are talking about exactly your question, because you are not alone with it. So tune in. Takeaway, important to take a stand for what is valuable. Love you so much, Sonia. Yes, thank you so much. Okay, guys, I love you. I will hopefully see you on Monday. Join live just before the holidays, and let's celebrate together. Much love.